Hello, welcome to Citizen McCain. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are very excited. We have some wonderful guests today. We have Erika Donald and our old friend, Lady Sarah Elliott, to come on to talk some British, UK, Europe news. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. YouTube.com/@Citizen McCain YouTube. And then we promise we have our Annabelle update from our wonderful viewer, Emily, who actually went and visited the Annabelle doll. But first and foremost, Miranda, I woke up to this news story today and I'm really pissed off about it for several different reasons. So for people that maybe don't know, there's a man running for Senate in Maine who is a Democrat. This is not my side that did it this time. His name is Graham Plattner. He gained a lot of attention a little bit ago, like 6 months ago, where he had a video. He's also an oyster fisherman. He's like an oysterman, and he's a veteran. He was in the Marines. He has a very like blue collar background origin story, and Democrats love that because it's very rare to have veterans and blue collar people be a part of their party, which I'm not just being shitty. Demographic wise, it is a more elite, educated, wealthier party right now. So it came out yesterday in a newly surfaced video that he has a chest tattoo of the SS, and I'm going to say this wrong, Totenkopf, which is a skull and crossbones emblem used by Nazis, the Nazis' Death's Heads unit. And excuse me, the Nazi Death's Heads unit. I'm not up on my Nazi. You can see a picture there on his chest. I'm not up on my Nazi symbols. So I just, not my thing, obviously. I want to show this video of him. And again, you can see it right there. Can we show the origin of what?
Is that what it's supposed to look like? It looks crappy. That looks like a really bad tattoo.
Hold on. We have a picture of what it's like. The symbol looks like normally.
Yeah.
Ashley's getting it. That's what the symbol is. And again, I'm not a Nazi expert, so I don't whatever. I want to show he went on the broiest of bro podcasts, Pod Save America podcast yesterday, defending his tattoo. Number 8, please.
And we went ashore in Split, Croatia, myself and a few of the other machine gun squad leaders. And we got very inebriated. And we did what Marines on liberty do, and we decided to go get a tattoo. And we went to a tattoo parlor in Split, Croatia, and we chose a terrifying looking skull and crossbones off the wall because we were Marines, and skulls and crossbones are a pretty standard military thing. And we got those tattoos. And then we all moved on with our lives. At no point in this entire experience of my life did anybody ever once say, "Hey, you're a Nazi." It never came up until we got wind that in the opposition research, somebody was shopping the idea that I was a secret Nazi with a hidden Nazi tattoo. And I can honestly say that if I was trying to hide it, I've not been doing a very good job for the past 18 years.
Yeah.
So
you're a self-described communist, but also a Nazi.
Okay, so one of the things this Pod Save America host is asking, and I don't know which one he is, there's like 70 people that host that show, but the candidate, Graham Plattner, has had things come up of his like Reddit posts of past that are racist comments going against minorities, stuff about cops, calling himself a communist. Like this is a litany of Oppo research that's been dumped recently. But I'm going to tell you, Miranda, why I have a very specific problem, other than if you have a Nazi tattoo, you should not be in the U.S. Senate on the left or the right. And for anyone that is like, oh, you didn't call out those people, the Republican New York Republican young people, but they were like 35. Yeah. They're garbage too. We just didn't do it as a topic because it was like in between when the show was going on, when it peaked, and we just like tried to stay at the moment. Those people are garbage. They have no place in polite society. They also shouldn't be running for office. But the thing that I don't buy about this, and you all know my brother Jimmy, he's been on the show. My brother Jimmy he's a former Marine. Now he's in the Army because he got out of the Marines for 2 weeks and decided he could not be in the military. That's a whole other story for another day. Yeah. It's a true story.
He's addicted.
He's completely covered in tattoos, his entire body, chest, hands, neck. Like you see him in a bathing suit or like in a tank shirt, whatever, like he wears sometimes in Arizona. Completely covered in tattoos. It's very common for men and women in the military to have tattoos. That's not the problem. I too have a drunken tattoo that I got with my brother and his Marine friends in college when I was not sober in San Diego outside of Camp Pendleton. It's common to be on liberty and go on shore leave and get tattoos. That's not the problem. If you're a Marine, a common tattoo, you're getting a globe and anchor, or you're getting a bulldog, or you're getting Semper Fi. Those are the 3 tattoos that you're getting if you're a Marine. So number 1, the skull thing, maybe that's something in the Army or someplace else, but that is actually not the most common tattoo for Marines. Number 2, what Graham Plattner and the Pod Save America bros are asking us to do is to expend reality that he walked into a tattoo parlor and on the wall was a Nazi symbol. And I don't know what state he got that. So you're telling me that the tattoo artist in here, of all the skulls, of the Sailor Jerry options, which are always the most common ones on the walls, of the Grateful Dead, of just your classic skull and bones from a pirate flag, of all the skulls on planet Earth, the Nazi one was the one on the wall. You are all lying. I don't believe it. There's reports that came out in Politico today that he has actually admitted that he knew that it was a Nazi symbol. He is alleged to be a great history buff. Why are the Pod Save America bros so attached to someone who happens to be a veteran, happens to be an oyster man, happens to have a tough guy persona? Why are they okay with this? If I had a Nazi tattoo, you had one, Ashley had one, anyone else, we would not have our jobs. Why do they expect people to accept this? It's bullshit. And I'm over every tiny little thing a Republican does being screamed at. And some things are serious, but can we all just collectively agree, if you're on the left or the right, Nazi anything is unacceptable? Am I in the Twilight Zone? I was so mad about this morning. I was so mad to see so many Democrats, including, I don't remember his name, some people on the left, including another host, saying like, this is not a big deal. This should not be a big deal. A Nazi tattoo is a very big deal. And I don't believe for 2 seconds, he didn't know what he was getting. He didn't know what it was. And that he wasn't fully aware that he has a Nazi symbol on his body. I'm sorry. I have had my fair share of dumb tattoos. I have tattoos on my body. My husband does. Basically, everybody I love has tattoos. Some of them are good. Some of them look like dog shit. But what I will tell you is I know what they all mean and why I got them. And I didn't just pull a Nazi symbol off the wall like a crazy person. Do you believe him,
No.
Miranda? And I honestly just can't believe this is the place in politics that we're at, that like, oh, we should okay this Nazi symbol. Oh, by the way, he came out just before I came on and said he has had it redone or changed it. But again, like, the internet's forever. You have a Nazi tattoo on your body.
Yeah. And it looks like a giant blob now. So if that is what we're seeing the redo, that is garbage also. I believe the reason why the Pod Save America bros are defending this guy to the end is because they're at a point where they're just like, vote blue no matter who. And they don't care. There's no end for them. There's no edge. There's no bad tweets. There's no nothing that is too much at this point that will stop them from achieving their agenda, which is winning back the House, the Senate, the whatever. They're in their tunnel vision at this point. It doesn't matter. Morals don't matter. It's just about, do you have a D at the end of your name? Perfect, great, grand, cool, whatever. You're our guy, and we will defend you to the ends of the earth. This person is disgusting. To say that you're in a foreign country and you're picking the scariest skull you can find is asinine.
I don't think he said he was in a foreign country. He said he was on shore leave.
Oh, I thought he said he was in Croatia. I could be wrong.
I'm sorry. Whatever. I still don't believe that in Croatia they have Nazi symbols on the wall.
And maybe they did. But it's dumb. It's dumb. That's a dumb excuse, and they think that we're dumb to buy it. Whoever is advising him is giving him really, really bad storytelling, because to say that is the scariest skull, I think my 7-year-old or my 8-year-old could have drawn that. It's not a scary skull. I've seen scarier skulls at Disneyland. Like, it seems like it's very clear to me that he knew what he was choosing when he picked that out. And like you said, he's since admitted he did know what it was. He's a history buff. To tell me that 3 or 4 guys all picked out the exact same tattoo and none of them had any idea of what it was, I'm not buying it. It doesn't pass any kind of honesty test for me. And to blame it on alcohol or drinking is also a very, very stupid excuse, because then that to me calls into question your ability, your judgment. And I don't want someone who's stupid being a representative of a state. It calls into me your sobriety, Are you a drunk? Are you some kind of person who can't handle their substances? You shouldn't be running for office. So these are not good excuses to be making when you're trying to run for senator, governor, congressman, whatever he's running for office for.
He's running for Senate in Maine. And, the other senator in Maine right now is Angus King, who's an independent. I believe he's the only independent in the Senate. The people of Maine are not, red meat or blue anon or whatever the term is for the people on the progressive left. It's a very like middle independent, Susan Collins, like it's a very middle of the road state, which like they're independent thinkers and they don't like freaks. Now, I just find it hard to believe that anyone in Maine is going to vote for this man. And I just want to say one more time, if someone on the right, like I love Winsome Sears, who's running for governor so much. If it somehow came out, which obviously she does not, nor would not, but if she had a Nazi tattoo, I would be like, it's disgusting and she should not be in office. I just don't understand why this is so hard for people. And we're in this place where it's like this level of deep partisanship. And those Pod Save America bros, again, I'm sorry, I don't know that man's name. Again, they really have like 10 hosts of that show. He didn't press him on it at all.
No,
it wasn't like,
they're all in on it. It's a conspiratorial, and I hate to be conspiratorial, but it is. They are part of this network of people like Aaron Parnas and Henry Sissons and all these people, and there's a million of them. I don't know their names, but they're all in this big, large group of just get any Democrat elected, anyone you can think of, just get young people to run, and anyone who can run and win, and just to take down MAGA and Republicans. And, I'm not MAGA, I'm not a Republican, but this guy needs to go. This is not appropriate. He should not be in charge of, he shouldn't even be running for dog catcher. I don't trust him. He's got to go.
And I think some of the people on the left who are just jumping through every hoop possible to allow this, we have a very serious problem in this country. Any sentient person who is paying any attention sees it on the left and the right, with a rise in anti-Semitism and Nazi ideas being more normalized. It is a cancer in this country that is growing, and we all see it. And again, allowing it and acting like this is somehow okay is wildly dangerous.
And to take it one step further, sorry, Megan, to step on you, but it's not just yes, there's a humongous problem with anti-Semitism. I'd have this exact same reaction, and I think you would too, if it were any kind of extremist group, whether it was ISIS, whatever, anything. So you don't get a free pass if you're not a Nazi, nothing.
And seriously, no extremism. Screw this guy. It's really, and it's also like really bad politics to be like, oh, like no one believes it.
Yeah, and to be like, oh, I'm those stupid. Guys do. Okay, well, that's not a good answer. So we don't want stupid people running for Senate either.
No. Okay, really quickly, we're going to switch gears to our next topic, which I'm so excited. We have our old friend, Lady Sarah. I'm going to say this wrong. Lady Sarah Elliott of Micklefell. Am I saying this right? Your title. Okay. Thank you so much. And she is our resident royal expert. You can find her on X at _Sarah_Elliott. Do you want to say your other job titles to give it a plug before we get started? I'm so happy to see you. You look lovely.
Thanks. It's great to see you girls too. It's been a while. I run the special relationship unit at the Prosperity Institute in London, which is U.S. relations here, and helping to strengthen that transatlantic alliance.
Love it. We love it. We love our transatlantic alliance. We love our relationship with the UK. Really quick, we're going to get into UK news, but we would be remiss, Sarah, because Miranda and I are obsessed with this. Ashley's obsessed with this. We're all obsessed with this. The Louvre had a jewelry heist, I'm sure you've seen, which is so wild. French authorities have been intensifying their manhunt for the priceless royal jewels stolen from the Louvre. The thieves stole 9 items of jewelry. A crown studded with more than 1,300 diamonds was found damaged on the escape route out. There were 4 culprits. 8 of the royal jewels the police and investigators are searching for. It could be too late to recover them because I guess they could take the jewels off and sell them or cut them down. It's worth an estimated 88 million euros, which is approximately $102 million. Crazy. Can we please show the video of the heist number 9, please? Okay, why is it harder to steal deodorant from CVS than jewels from the Louvre? I'm serious. Number 1. Number 2, I'm going to throw a very hot take out to you, Sarah, and to you, Miranda. if you can steal jewels from the Louvre, maybe you should be able to keep them because
Yeah.
I feel like if
Finder,
the
like a
Louvre,
finder's keepers.
yes. What
Like-
is your take? This is the wildest story. Heists still happen.
Can
I
I
told
just
Ashley
also
I was really
say,
hoping they're women that did it.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but this happened at 9:30 in the morning. They didn't like come in at the crack of dawn or like when it first
No.
opened or break in over cover of night. They came in at 9:30 in the morning in those reflective
Yep, and
ass
high vis.
vests. Like,
Yeah.
like everybody look at us. We are doing this
The
now.
weirdest story. What did
And
you think, Sarah?
I don't know if we have the picture. They propped the ladder up on the outside, like just like all diagonal. Everything about this is amazing. Okay,
I mean,
Sarah,
I
go.
just have to give him credit for the courage and kind of the balls to do it, you know. And I quite frankly love an old fashioned royal,
too.
jewelry heist. But this is like, I mean, do you ever watch movies and go, I wonder if I just walked up that scaffolding and tried that, it would work out for me. I just wonder, and that's what these guys were thinking. And they're like, well, if we just look like we know what we're doing, no one's gonna ask us any questions, and voila, there you go.
Yeah.
It's
They
crazy.
said the gang who is suspected to do it is called the Pink Panther Gang because they've stolen some other
that's
big
so
diamond
cool.
and hid it in lotion, which is a plot line in the old Pink Panther movies. But like, just like really quick before we go. Oh, and can we show the picture number one of what the jewels that were stolen? I legitimately I feel bad for the people of France. It's like on top of like
Yeah.
Notre Dame, burning, and then like
know.
this happening. Like apparently there's been a string of jewel heists in different museums and places around France. Like this is total respect to our allies in France. Why isn't there better security
Didn't
at these
Kim
places?
Kardashian get her horrible robbery when she
Yeah.
got like held at gunpoint? Wasn't that in Paris or France
That was
also?
in Paris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was an attempted heist to steal this beautiful diamond from the Millennial Dome in London, and Cartier actually put in a fake because it was so it was just so vulnerable. And sure enough, there was an old East London gang trying to break in and steal it, and they caught on to this, but they had a fake in there anyway, just in case.
Wow. Sounds like a Batman
Really
movie.
interesting.
It's on Netflix. You guys can watch it. It was a Guy Ritchie documentary, and it's worth watching.
That's wild.
Well, we want to, unless we have any more heist, I just think it's the craziest story and I love it. And
the
I
Louvre
also
just
feel
has
bad.
to be so
Ugh.
embarrassed because where was security? I was watching some TikToks about this to prep for the segment, and there was a woman who spoke about going to the Louvre last summer with her mother, and she was saying that while they were there, they were speaking to each other like, where is all the security? Because you don't want to feel like, oh, there's security everywhere, but where were they? Because I guess the Louvre has a problem with understaffing of just workers, but also specifically security. So this was bound to happen, it seems like. So I hope this is
Mona
a wake-up call
Lisa's
to,
there.
I
They gotta-
know. So I hope
Like-
this is a wake-up call to, people who are in charge of the museums and things like that in Paris to maybe, I don't know, maybe pay your workers more and get some more people in there because 9:30 in the morning. Guys,
I hope
9:30.
they find it, but I don't think they will. Sarah, we're going to move on to the main topics that I wanted to have you on for. So this is actually getting a lot of attention here in America as well, not just in the UK. So Prince Andrew, who is Queen Elizabeth's son, who has always had like a problematic relationship with life in general. And I've been doing a lot of reading. Apparently has always been a little spoiled and I don't know, not a good person. It came out that Andrew made an announcement on Friday that he would relinquish his royal titles, including the Duke of York, amid ongoing allegations over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. His relationship with Epstein recently has returned to the headlines. There is the release of Virginia Giuffre's posthumous memoir. In it, Giuffre maintains her claims that she was trafficked by Epstein and paid to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was 17. Tragically, she committed suicide a few months ago. She's not alive, which they're still releasing her memoir despite her
I
death.
just got it. It literally just came to my mail yesterday or Saturday. I was out of town, but I have the book. I'm ready to read
This
it.
seems like a very big deal to have his titles taken away. Can you just give us a rundown for Americans that don't understand this, what it means and what the impact in the UK is?
Okay, so first off, he still has these titles. Okay.
Oh.
He is
My notes are
still
wrong.
his Royal Highness Prince Andrew, Duke of York, Earl of Inverness, Baron of Killyleagh, I think is how you say it. He still has those. What he has promised is not to use them. So the only way that his titles can be taken from him is by an act of parliament. So parliament has to decide that this is worth their time, money, and interest to strip the prince of these titles. And that wouldn't really actually strip him of prince because he is the son of a monarch. So they would have to do something special called a letter patent for that. So that would be different. He's just basically said, listen, I'm really sorry for making really bad headlines and causing problems for my family. I am not a working royal and I will never use my titles again. So please leave me alone. That's what he's saying. He's hoping to squash the beef that way with his family. But rumor has it that like Prince William's not happy about that it doesn't go far enough, that he will not be attending the future monarch's coronation when Prince William becomes King William V. He will not be in attendance, and Prince William may even go further than that and not give titles or relinquish all titles from those who are non-working royals.
Meaning
So
Harry and Meghan.
Sarah Ferguson, we're going to get to that in a second, but Sarah Ferguson is wrapped up in this, and she officially removed Duchess from her social media. Although the couple divorced in 1996, she has continued using Duchess of York as a courtesy title through her professional pursuits. Is that a big deal as well, that it's no longer Duchess Fergie?
Yes, I mean this woman, she has been riding on that title just like
Yes.
another duchess
Uh-huh.
for a long time, and sadly, she's been kicked off of all these charities as well, which she'd put all this time and effort into and raised money for. Cancer charities. Remember, she survived breast cancer recently. So she's been stripped of like all of her, any kind of a royal association is gone for her. And that was her identity other than mother. She's a very proud mother of her two daughters who are wonderful role models and examples. But she really had nothing else going for her. And these emails that came out in the mail on Sunday shows that she has been begging Epstein for money for years, even after he was a convicted pedophile. And that is why she can no longer use the title Duchess. That's why Prince Andrew cannot go by Duke or His Royal Highness. And that's why you will not be seeing them at the Darbys, at Royal Ascot, at maybe high-profile family funerals. I don't know, but like you won't see them in the line with the Countess of Sophie, Prince Edward. All of them, they will not be on the balcony anymore. You will not see them anywhere. And now their daughters will have to choose where to spend Christmas. They're probably going to have to split their Christmas because they've been disinvited from Sandringham on Christmas Day. So that nice royal
Beatrice and
walkabout.
Eugenie are no
Yes,
longer
Beatrice.
welcome.
Even
No,
though they
they're
weren't involved
welcome.
with the Epstein
No.
stuff.
Beatrice and Eugenie are still welcome, as far as I know.
The
But
parents
it's their
aren't.
parents. So they may be part of the royal walkabout in the morning to the church with the other royals, and then they may go and see their parents wherever they are in the afternoon. But it was a big deal to see Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, actually attend Christmas morning service recently. And that was after the passing of the late Queen. But she will no longer be there now.
Can I ask you, you talked about this, but all the reports, at least the stuff we're reading here, which again is a separation from UK, is that Prince William, when he ascends the throne, which, could be soon just because he's so popular, and I think he and Kate are really the future. I really like them, and I'm not a royalist, but I just think they seem like very cool and sophisticated and no drama, which I appreciate, and very modern. But there's rumors that Prince William is going to strip Harry and Meghan of their titles. According to sources, he's planning to undertake the reforms when he becomes king to, quote, reduce the footprint of the British monarchy as king. He plans to strip Prince Andrew as well, like you said, of their honorific HRH titles. So that would include Eugenie and Beatrice, but also his children. It's rumored that he would let them choose if they wanted to be working royals as they got older or not. Although who's not going to call Princess Charlotte princess, but I guess that's for another time. What does the public in the UK make of this?
Well, I think it's kind of divided, right? Like you can understand it on one side because you look at the example of Prince Andrew, who hasn't been able to have like a normal life or make a normal living for himself just being a prince. I mean, I think if you behave yourself and you can find good ways of contributing to the royal family. But it's very difficult when you're raised in that entitled, very protected environment to then go and live in the real world and make a real world living and wage. So on the one hand, if you don't give them the title to begin with, like Princess Anne didn't give her children a title so that they could go about in the real world and make something of themselves because they weren't going to inherit the throne, that might make a lot of sense, and that would help an individual in the family. But on the other hand, the traditionalists are really kind of like, wait a second, we don't want to shrink the royal family. The royal family is important. There are hundreds of charities, that they support, and we need them. And they're our mascot. They're the symbol that we kind of rally around. There are diplomats. They go around the world and fight on behalf of Britain, or diplomatically fight on behalf of Britain. Put a best foot forward. So, I think it's a very mixed view, but it makes a lot of sense in light of Prince Andrew and Prince Harry, if that makes sense.
Well, I want to ask you about Prince Harry and whatever the hell Megan Sussex calls herself now. I think, as you're aware, and whatever. I mean, what you guys, whatever. It's so she's so insufferable. I feel like we were the original Meghan Markle skeptics, like all three of us, and now the world has completely joined. She's
Finally.
wildly unpopular. They just make the dumbest moves all the time in every way. I don't know if you saw, she was in Paris recently for a Balenciaga fashion show. The designer came out and said, they were like, how did she end up coming? And he said she like invited herself. She said, I want to come. I know, it's hilarious. And there's like weird videos of her coming out of her hotel where she's just like, people are comparing it to like Zoolander because of like the way she's walking and looking. And then she keeps putting all these weird videos up. They're just doing everything wrong. And she's older than all of us. Like and again, I'm 40, so it's not like she's that much older, but she's older. And they behave like petulant children. I would love for them to go back to the UK so they stop being our problem. I'm sure you
Sarah's
feel the same way.
no,
Like,
thank
stay
you.
in America. But there's rumors that they want to go back to the royal family, that they want to come back because, they've just expended all opportunities here in every way. And Meghan Markle, who claims to hate the royal family and hate everything have to do with it, is adamant that her kids keep titles, despite the fact that her kids are like super American and going to like surf camp in Malibu. Like it's the least royal. Like, I don't know if I just sound like a dick
They
here,
don't
but like,
have English
I want my
accents,
royals
yeah.
to be like William and Kate. I like the way they dress. I like the stuff they do. Like it looks British royalty. Like why are you in Malibu? Like
There's
No.
nothing, first of all, there's nothing wrong with surf camp in Malibu. As a Los Angeles girl, I will say that. But we don't
if
need,
you're a
we don't need
princess,
princesses and dukes and duchesses going there. It's bizarre. Like maybe
I mean, in America, don't you think that they will just be harassed and bullied if they went around being called like Prince Archie and Princess
yes.
Lilibet?
Yes.
Like it does not help
it's
them
weird.
one iota.
It's just weird. Yeah. Because
in
we have
how
our
she's
we have
obsessed
our
with
own
it.
celebrities. We have our
Yes.
own. We don't need
Yes.
this.
I wish I had the clip for you of her cooking show where she corrects Mindy Kaling because
Oh
she's
my
like,
God, that's
Meghan
the
Markle, and
best.
she's like, I'm
Oh.
Sussex.
And
Bitch, I am
but with a weird
royal,
giggle,
like-
with a weird
Megan,
under
it's like-
giggle.
It's if
Sussex
I interrupted
now.
you and said, "Oh no, I'm Sarah Micklefell now."
She's like, it's
I'm
Lady,
Sarah
it's
Micklefell.
Lady Sarah.
You know, it's
I'm
just
fine calling you Lady Sarah because I think it sounds like funny, but like, and it sounds it's very prestigious, but Micklefell is hard for me to say.
Yeah,
No,
well.
and again, like I get that it's like, I get it. It's like, whatever, but you chose to leave the royal family.
Yeah.
You're not like, I'm not going to be a part of this. You've like accepted
Yes.
the role you and your husband have decided to take, which is how you got your title. You're not like,
Yeah.
I hate this place, but let me keep my title. So what do people in the UK think of them? And again, they're really at least leaking to the press that they want to go back to the royal family. And there's rumors that Harry said that he wants his kids to be educated in the UK, which again, good luck to all of you with all of this because it sounds so crazy.
Well, and who's going to pay for the security, right? You want to raise your kids here, but you need all this security. Listen, I think the Brits feel sad they lost their favorite royal. Prince Harry used to be polled as one of the most popular royals in the royal family. But after the tell-all book, after the Netflix documentary, it's all just very classless. And it all
Yeah.
happened in the wake of as the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, was dying, and of course the Queen had cancer. So, and she was dying. So it's just, I don't think the British population has much patience for them anymore. They're like, listen, we gave you an opportunity. We were enthusiastic about your wedding. Meghan Markle represents modern Britain in a way the other royal families don't, because she has multi ethnicities. She could have really been just a great superstar, and she decided to drop that global platform to hang out in Montecito and have her orchard, and
Yeah.
then take the name back, take Meghan Markle back, why, or be Meghan Windsor or something. Like, I don't know. It all seems rather fake. They all seem kind of like old news. And Harry, just people feel sorry for him, more or less, and they hope that he does reconcile with his father and his brother. But I think the British public also understands that he's a risk right now because he's married to her, and who knows what other secrets they'll spill to the media.
Yeah, we just have a few more questions on this and then I will let you go. But I would never there's rumors that Harry wants to reconcile with his dad. I would not let Harry near even just me because they're notorious leakers. And they'll write more tell books, they'll do more tell interviews, they'll probably call Oprah on the phone and say, I want to talk shit about my family all day long. Like, I totally agree. They're loose cannons, they're ungrateful, they're every disgusting stereotype about my generation come to life. Do you think that, there's rumors, Prince Charles obviously has cancer. There's rumors about how severe or not severe it is. Do you think maybe he, just given where he's at in life, will want to make amends with
I'm
Harry?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he misses his son. I'm sure this is a massive disappointment for him, you know. I mean, he became their only parent when he was a young kid, and he probably kicks himself for all the things he did wrong in the wake of his mother's death, and probably didn't realize what was really going on with Harry at that time. So I'm sure as a parent he really would like to do that, but it's very risky. I mean, the last time he came to the UK and spoke to the press after seeing his dad, he's like, I don't know how much longer my dad has. And then everyone's going, what? What?
Yeah.
So you just can't, have that around, unfortunately. But, all families should want to reconcile before anyone passes away or is sick.
My last question for you. Obviously, everyone was extremely concerned about Princess Kate when she had cancer. I'm sorry, Prince William. I almost said King William, but he will be king in somewhat in the future. He did an interview with Eugene Levy, of all people, the funny
I
comedian.
know. That was
It
weird.
was it was so weird, but it was really like I felt like intimate and lovely.
Yeah.
And he talked about how difficult the cancer has been on their family. And he's just a dad with like three young kids. And again, I've never been like a big royalist until Harry and Meghan were so awful. And then I felt like very territorial
Yeah.
of William and Catherine, and then her getting cancer, and she's like our age, and I just think she dresses so classy. I don't know. I really like
She's
them.
she's a total
Um,
class act. I mean,
yeah.
Kim is just, and she's now a very popular royal. At first, she really had to earn it, and she has. And if you remember, she walked into Wimbledon at the finals, and they all standed up and gave her a standing ovation and clap. And she works really hard, and you can tell that she's the gel that holds that family together. And many people say it's going to be Kate that saves the royal family and keeps the monarch going. From everything I see, she seems to be healing. She was at the state dinner with President Trump. She's really puts her best foot forward every single day. And of course, we just wish her the best. Prince William will need her when he's king, for
Oh,
sure.
of course.
Mhm.
And I know because it's part of your job to keep our relations between our two countries healthy. Americans would go absolutely batshit bananas if William and Kate made a trip here. I think they should come back to America and we would host them beautifully and come to DC and let us host them at the White House, given that they just hosted our president there. And again, it's, I think, the most precious allyship, I guess, other than Israel, that our country has. And please pass that up the flagpole,
I will.
Lady
Well,
Sarah.
I'll do my bit. The king, I'm sorry, the king, Trump, Freudian slip there. Trump at the state dinner said, he actually acknowledged the succession, and that what a great job King Charles has done with Prince William, and that he looks forward to continuing the relationship with Prince William, or the United States does. So I could see a future royal visit with Prince William and Princess Kate, definitely.
I hope it happens, and then you would have to come, obviously, join them as well.
Get to come.
I'll carry the train into the state dinner.
Well, Sarah, thank you for the updates on everything. We can all agree also that Prince Andrew should go. I actually think he should maybe pull a King George and go to another country and leave the royal family alone. He's just a scar on everyone, and he's pretty disgusting. You can find Sarah on X at _Sarah_Elliott. Anything else you want to plug before you say goodbye?
No, I just love you girls, and it's great to see you both.
We're so happy to see you.
I love Two Way. I've been listening to Two Way since the election.
Please come back on. And anytime you want to talk smack about Meghan Markle, I'm your girl. That woman, sometimes we're like, is it so bad? Like, are we too mean? And then she'll do something else. I'm like, no, we're not.
No,
okay?
we're not mean enough.
We're
actually.
not. Yes.
We're just real.
Yes. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks,
Soon.
Sarah.
Thank you,
Love
girls.
you.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
all right, switching gears. We have our next guest. We have a full show today. We're
Very
excited.
Show.
Hello. We're very excited to have Erika Donald, who is an America First Policy Institute Chair of Education Opportunity and founder and chairman of Optimade. Am I saying that right? Optimade?
Optima Ed. So Optima
I apologize.
Optima Ed.
I said that totally wrong. Optima Ed. There should have been a dash in my notes, everybody.
Yep,
Thank you so much, Erika, for taking time today to come on. We're so happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm so honored to be here. I feel like I know you. I watch you on Two Way and your podcast, and you're doing an amazing job. So I'm really honored to be here.
Thank you. Erika, you are also, we'd be remiss, you are the wife of Congressman Byron Donalds, who is currently running to be the next governor of Florida. He is by far the person who's in the lead. Congratulations. I know you can't get too far ahead of yourself, but he is the lead candidate. I just have to ask you first and foremost, how does it feel to be in the middle of this race? And what are your thoughts on potentially becoming First Lady of Florida?
Well, I'm a sixth generation Floridian, very proud of Floridian, lived here my whole life with my family. And Florida has really offered Byron and I the American dream, right? We went to school here. We built a great life here and a wonderful family. We were able to come out of poverty, both of us coming from broken homes and single moms. And so we have a lot to be thankful for, so much blessing in our lives. And coming from the financial sector, both of us were in the private sector before we got involved in politics. And we feel like we have a lot to offer for the next phase of Florida. Certainly Byron's record as the most conservative member of Congress, state legislature, and his finance background is a great segue after Ron DeSantis and what he's done to really bring Florida to another level, diversify our economy, make it so that our children and their children will be able to build generational wealth and really achieve the American dream as we have here in Florida.
How did you and Congressman Donalds meet?
We met in college. We were 19 and 21 when we met. We knew everything back then. We dated on and off while we were in college, graduated, got jobs. We graduated right after September 11th. So it was a really difficult time for a finance major and an accounting major. I had aspired to move to New York, where he's from. He didn't want to go home, but we found jobs down here in Naples, Florida, where there are a lot of financial services firms because there's just a lot of money down here. And we made it our home, and now we love it. It's paradise, and we've been able to build great careers and then also get into public service. I served on the school board. He obviously has been elected in both the state level and in Congress. And we just love our state. We love our community, and we love that we get to make a difference in a positive way.
Florida has become, as I know you're more than aware, this beacon of conservatism and this like safe haven for a lot of people. My husband and I joke that we're like the last Republicans that haven't moved to Florida yet, because like I'm not exaggerating, maybe 70% of my friends and colleagues in conservative circles have moved to Florida. I'm a big fan of Governor DeSantis and his wife. How much pressure is there for you and your husband to like keep Florida in this vein as again like the safe haven for the rest of the country, and for people knowing I used to live in New York City, which Donnie taking over, which he's going to win, is a hellscape, fever dream, nightmare for me and for many other Americans. And I'm sure you're going to get even more people moving to Florida as a result of that. Um, is it a lot of pressure to keep Florida as this like safe haven for the rest of the country?
Absolutely, but that's good pressure. And it's new for a new governor coming in. When Governor DeSantis was elected, we were very much a purple state. And so
Yes.
even he had to walk the line in the general election to attract independents to what was not necessarily a fully conservative message. Thankfully, those demographics have changed, and he's been able to be an incredibly conservative governor. But that's where Byron will be starting, right? With a 1.4 million voter advantage for the Republican side, all of these people who have moved to Florida because of his conservatism. So you actually get to start at that sort of conservative high watermark and go from there and be an even more conservative governor from day one than Governor DeSantis was. I mean, we're Tea Party people, so we are very conservative. And so it's very easy for us to carry on that mantra, if you will, and those principles. That's where we came from, and that's how we believe anyway. So it's an exciting time to be able to defend the conservative haven of Florida.
There's a lot of people in the movement and obviously in Congress. No disrespect to everybody, but there's hundreds of Congress people that even I don't know and that people don't follow. But your husband has really become a rising star, particularly in the MAGA movement. This is like maybe a loaded question, but what's the secret? Like, why do you think he's stood out so much that now he's more than likely going to be the next governor of Florida?
I think his authenticity, really, from day one. I mean, we don't need this. And you know how this is, Megan. You've seen politicians come and go. People who need this office to like live a better life, they act and behave in a different way. They're very careful with their words or scripted,
Yes.
and they're always trying to look for the next leg up. And we've always gotten into this as willing participants. Like, we have something to offer. We're willing to do this. Byron's willing to serve, but he doesn't have to be something he's not to hold on to this position. And I think people recognize that authenticity. He also just has a great talent of taking complex issues and explaining them in lay terms that ordinary people who don't really pay attention to politics and policy can understand. And I think that's why people also gravitate towards him. I think the last thing is he's really good at just retail politics, what we would call retail politics, when he's talking to people in the grassroots. Again, we came from the Tea Party rallies on the corner. Those were our first political events. So you're just talking to people, listening to them, and trying to come up with solutions that address their on the ground problems. So I think that's one of the reasons why he's just become so attractive to the masses.
I remember seeing him it was, I think, after like the last government shutdown, and he was giving an interview outside the Capitol, and he was so funny. I just remember being like, oh, I love that he has a sense of humor. And he was like teasing one of the journalists. And I was like, oh, he definitely has this like everyman quality that's a lot more relatable than, like you said, maybe someone who's like straight out of Harvard and has been running for office their entire life. I assume when you become First Lady of Florida, will education be your main focus?
Well, it has been, and it's such an interesting question when people ask me, like, what are you going to do as First Lady? And maybe if I didn't have a platform already or didn't have a mission that I've been working on for 15 years, that would be a valid question. But I've been working on education reform, education policy, and frankly, education freedom for most of my adult life, even when I was in a different career. And I've really made it my life's work to make sure every family in America has multiple high quality options to choose from when it comes to their children's education, and the agency to be able to choose those options. That's funding, information, transportation, and all of those things. I think that's incredibly important for the future of our state, for the future of our country. And then there's some other things that we're also very passionate about. Criminal justice reform. I watched your interview with George Santos, very much in line with, my husband sponsored the First Step Act in Florida before Trump passed it at the national level. juvenile justice. I was a very troubled teen, so I'm very passionate about giving teenagers a second chance and foster children, and just our calling to serve widows and orphans, as a evangelical Christian. I think those kind of encompass what I already am passionate about and working on, and what I'll continue to do if I am honored to be the First Lady of Florida.
I love that. Those are all really wonderful and important causes. And, we wish you so much luck with the race. And again, politics is tricky, but you guys are doing just fine right now. It's not like it's some nail biter at the moment. And I'm a big fan of your husband's, and I'm just so happy you guys are running. And I'm so happy that like my break glass, like emergency scenario of moving to Florida will continue to be there, because we all want, I don't know. I always just worry there's
Safety
gonna be
net
like
backup
another
plan.
COVID or something. Like, I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God,
I
don't.
learned a lot like everybody else did in 2020. Like, I'm just glad it's still there. It's sad that we have to think of a state, by the way, in like this safe haven perspective, but we do. Would you mind, Erika, if we do some hot topics with you
Yeah,
to
sure.
continue? So we saw this interview with Jen Psaki. I don't know. I'm sure you know who that is. She was the where is
Oh,
this in my
yeah.
notes? She's the former press secretary. She had some really unkind things to say. She went on that I've Had It podcast, which there's no way you listen to that podcast, because it's like a progressive fever dream on acid. It's the craziest podcast, and they say the craziest things. But I want to show you this clip of what she said about our second lady, Usha Vance. Number 6, please.
I think the little Manchurian candidate, JD Vance, wants to be president more than anything else.
Yeah.
I always wonder what's going on in the mind of his wife. Like, are you
Agreed.
okay? Please blink 4 times.
Yes.
We'll come over here. We'll save you.
I thought this was so ugly, Erika, and so mean. And I don't know why all these 3 women are threatened by all intents and purposes. And I've had the privilege of interviewing Usha Vance, has a really supportive and lovely marriage. What's your take on this? And why are people so mean to wives of political candidates and politicians?
Yeah, I loved your interview with Usha Vance.
Thank
That
you.
was incredible, and it was a great window into who she is. And she is a bit of a mystery, which is to her credit, I think, right? She's not trying to be out front, but she was very open and authentic with you. But to Jen Psaki and the other crazy liberals that are thinking that we're some sort of hostages because we're married to conservative politicians, it's just
know.
insane, right? She is a very well-educated, obviously incredibly smart and confident woman. She's doing exactly what she wants with her life. She has a great marriage and a wonderful family, and she's in the position that she didn't ask for, but has done so gracefully in serving as our second lady. I think these women are jealous, and again, they're just trying to get attention for themselves by putting someone else down in the form of Usha Vance, who's elevated at such a level that they don't even deserve her attention. But it does say a lot more about Jen Psaki than it does about Usha.
Yeah, and the thing about Usha Vance, which I'm sure is very threatening to them, like I'm not gonna I don't speak for my sister, but my sister is not horribly political, and she really likes and respects Usha Vance. My sister is also, she's adopted, so she's adopted from Bangladesh, so she relates to her like South Asian women. And I think there's something like so threatening about Usha Vance to people like Jen Psaki, because she has this broad appeal. And I don't care that she's a little mysterious. I think a little mystery is fine, but they're clearly in love and she's clearly supportive. And I'm so exhausted with the narrative that conservative women are like prisoners or part of the Handmaid's Tale, or just, it's so disgusting. And I can't come up with anything else. And
Well,
I
it
don't know.
takes away their narrative that conservatives are racist or conservatives hate minorities or women, because
Yeah.
Usha Vance is a very intelligent woman who, like you said, is ethnic. Her parents are Indian, right? South Asian, East
Mhm.
Asian, whatever. So, the fact that JD Vance is married to this beautiful, educated woman who, and they have these biracial children, it completely takes away all of their ammo, so to speak, that they have to throw at Republicans.
I wanted to ask you too, the same hosts, Erika, of that podcast, I've Had It podcast, excuse me. One of them actually went on TV last week and was criticizing the interracial marriage of Usha Vance and our vice president. And you are obviously in an interracial marriage. I can't imagine any situation where anyone would say that about Democrats. Why is it still okay to throw out racist tropes against conservatives? And we see it with Winsome Sears too, who's running for governor right here in Virginia.
Yeah, well, it's because, like Miranda said, it undermines their narrative, right? And Byron, being a Black conservative, just totally blows up their argument and really invites other Black conservatives, of which there are many, especially with West Indian background like he has, to come over to the conservative side, and they are doing that. So they have to make them into these boogeyman. And for us, they attack our interracial marriage. And again, we've been married for 22 years. The most racist people against our marriage are white liberals. We did not hear anything, and we live in the South. We lived in Tallahassee. We did not get attacked for our interracial marriage for any time before we got into politics. It's liberals who have the most problem with my husband being married to a white woman. If white wife is the name that I'm most called on Twitter when it comes to people talking about my husband. And it has nothing to do with that. That some reason, because he's married to a white woman, that's why he's conservative. I did something to make him conservative. He's not a real Black man because he's married to a white woman and because he's conservative. And so they have to try to denigrate these people of color who are conservative and believe how we do, because they can't attack their ideas. So they have to attack who they are as a person, because that's what they care about the most, when we care about ideas. And that's why we accept anyone, whoever, whatever they look like, whatever their demographics. If we share our principles and ideas, they're totally welcome in our party.
How do you talk to your kids about that when people are ugly and racist towards you and your husband?
You know, I have 3 boys. They're 22, 18, and 14. And they're very strong personalities, as you can imagine. They have 2 very, very strong parents. And I would say they actually talk to me about it more. Like, we have conversations, but they'll say what they saw on TikTok or what people might have said to them. They have great support systems here in our community. So they don't get it, in person, but they see it online. And they're kind of the same mindset, like, oh, look what these people are saying. They're such losers, right? They have nothing better to say. We have great relationships with our boys, and we've taught them to be independent thinkers, and they're all very strong in what they believe. And in fact, our 18-year-old just went off to college and is starting a Turning Point chapter. He went out to the No Kings protest and started engaging with people about their signs, very politely, of course, because we teach them to be polite and to respect others' opinions. But I love that he's out there just standing on his beliefs.
That's wonderful. And congratulations to him and to starting a Turning Point. That's wonderful. I wanted to ask you too, I don't know how much attention you've been paying to Karine Jean-Pierre, the other White House spokesperson's book tour. She released this book, which is really just ridiculous. And among other things, she's really tripling down that nothing was wrong with President Biden's cognitive ability, that he was just tired, that she was on the road with him a bunch, and really not only doubling, but tripling down. And then she went on Morning Joe yesterday morning, which I know you watch every single morning. Eric, I'm just kidding. It's no one
as
watches
we all do and should. Yes.
No offense. But even the hosts and the guests on the show seemed put off by what she was saying. Number 2, please.
As a Black woman, as a person who's also LGBTQ, I feel as if those communities that I am part of largely get taken for granted. And I see that today in groups that are being thrown under the bus for a short-term win. And it is not the big tent party that I loved and enjoyed and was part of and fought for. And so for me, I want to start a conversation with how do we fix this? The system is indeed broken. The 2-party system is not functioning in the way where our democracy is being protected right now. I feel as if the Democratic Party right now is too timid. They're not speaking up. We need to be, they need to have a strategy and be really clear about how they're moving forward in this moment. And when I left the administration on January 20th, I was hearing from people. I would go around. I'm sure you all hear from folks too as you're going to the supermarket and doing the business of your day. And people would come up to me and they would say, "What's happening? What's going on? Why isn't the Democratic Party fighting? Where's their teeth? Why are they not standing up?" They knew this was coming. And it really broke me. It broke my heart to hear it because people were crying. People were upset about this. And so this is my way of using my platform to have a conversation, to start a conversation.
Okay, I cut it because we don't was a longer clip than I thought. But I do not think the two-party system is broken. I don't know what Democrats are talking about when they say that democracy isn't working. Democracy is working. We had a fair election where President Trump won the electoral popular vote and every swing state. What is she talking about? And what does being gay and a black woman have to do with any of this? I was just like, this is the dumbest book tour I've ever seen.
And then she says the Democrats have nothing to say. It's because of that, the identity politics. Shut up and get a
Yeah.
message.
Yes.
Yes, she's exhausting to listen to. We talk about someone looking like a hostage. It's all of these interviewers that pre-booked all of these interviews, and they hear her saying the same thing over and over again. They're all just looking at her like, please stop. You're not authentic. She would have been much better off to just mea culpa. Yes, he was senile. I knew it. I'm sorry. I was trying to, keep my job and save the country. Whatever. Say something else besides, I take this question very seriously. Like, how many times did she say that in all of these interviews? But you look at the faces of the interviewers. That podcast that she did where he was actually pushing back on her, like, come on, no one believes you. Their faces are all the same. Like, please get me out of here. They pre-booked these interviews. Everyone were tortured all the way through it. Even people on her side don't want anything to do with her. She's going to go away and she's not coming back.
Even Stephen Colbert was like, ma'am, you saw no cognitive decline, like at all. But I think she's like a lens into a bigger issue, though, because, Democrats obviously have huge problems. I'm sure you saw the fundraising numbers for the RNC versus DNC came out. Republicans have earned $83 or $85 million and Democrats have earned 12. I mean, that's a huge disparity between enthusiasm and obviously where people's putting their money. But part of it is like, I keep telling liberal friends of mine that like, say like the trans issue, the trans bathroom issue, it's an 80-20 issue, is a political mega loser. But you still want to die on an issue that the vast majority, super majority of Americans disagree with and don't like. Why is it, do you think that Democrats would just rather like lose but make a political point? Like, I don't understand how you have this level of losses and you're still not, trying to like re-navigate where you're at. And I actually apologize. I don't even know the Democrat you're running against in Florida, but is there any way that like I apologize. That sounds so ignorant. I'm so sorry. I really have no idea because your husband's so far ahead. But like how I don't know, you're not a psychologist, but like I just don't understand what the hell everybody's doing.
Yeah, well, the Democrats have no leadership. They have no plan to get out of this rut, right? So they just keep doing the same thing that they've been doing because they don't have a strong leader to say, here's the new direction that we are going to take. And no one has emerged in that role. Gavin Newsom is trying to, and you see his plan is to moderate the party so that they can have any chance of winning. But he's being rejected by the radical left of their party, who's just much louder and has a bigger platform, even though the vast majority of their party does not agree with the far left policies. So they're just in complete chaos and disarray. Obama has no pull anymore with the base of their party because on one hand, he's too moderate. On the other hand, he has catered so much to the radical left that he has no credibility with the moderates in the party. So he's out. And who else? Kamala Harris is no leader. Tim Walz, Pete Buttigieg. Name who is going to come and rise up and say, here's the new direction that's going to make us win again. I love it personally. I would love to see them in disarray, especially in Florida, where a former Republican, David Jolly, is actually running against Byron. They can't even come up with their own candidates. They've got to take leftover Republicans like David Jolly and Charlie Crist.
I'm so sorry that Charlie Crist is running again.
No, but he might be running for something. I heard he's running for mayor of St. Petersburg. Like he just about to go away. But he was the last, one of the last candidates for governor in our state, former Republican. And now you have another former Republican that they're getting behind.
I can't believe that man respectfully is still around. I mean, he should really retire. Charlie Crist. Come on,
I haven't
dude.
heard that name since 2010.
I know. Like, tuck it away. Did you see the Obama's library that's being built, Erika? Have you seen the picture of it?
Horrendous.
It's so ugly. What happened? I wish I had a picture for everyone. It is the ugly. I don't understand. I just don't understand. It looks like, I can't even say it. It's like a brick building. Like, it's so ugly. Anyway, it's so bad. Our last topic for you is a little pop culture. I don't know if you saw this, Erica. I don't know if you're a fan of Kristen Bell or Dax Shepard, but Kristen Bell put a photo up on her Instagram where, and I think we have it, number 7, please, where she said, "Happy 12th anniversary to the man who once said to me, I would never kill you. A lot of men have killed their wives at a certain point. Even though I'm heavily incentivized to kill you, I never would." Commentators obviously are freaking out because it's insensitive. It's also October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. What is going on? If Ben wrote something like that about me, I would divorce him. I'm sorry. What would you do if Byron wrote something like that about you? I'm sorry, Congressman Donald. But like, what is going on, Erica?
Wow. Well, I just want to take the time right now to thank Byron for never threatening to kill me. And I feel so loved and
Publicly thank
appreciated
him.
that he has neither tried to kill me nor threatened to try to kill me, even though he really could. And I'm sure I've made him very frustrated at times. Like, what in the world? Yeah,
Isn't that
that's
awful?
very concerning on both sides, though, right? Concerning that he would say something like that and that she would somehow celebrate that as
Find it cute.
love.
Is it cute?
It's,
This
can we
is
just
very
not with
this
Hollywood? Go away.
this is
Yeah.
given. Do you remember last year when the Obamas posted their
Yes.
anniversary tribute and Barack posted like the most trollish picture of Michelle I've ever seen in my life, and she's a beautiful
Yes.
woman.
She looks so
don't
bad.
get me. That's what this is giving. Like, I hate my wife. Like, I hate my life, my marriage. That's what this is giving. Like, is she warning us? Is this like a code? Like, if I ever turn up missing, please look at him first. That's the vibe that I'm getting from this.
I think too, it's so funny you brought up the Obamas because we actually got in trouble, Erica, because we repeated some rumors that we heard that their marriage isn't the most steady, and everyone was really mad. And I was like, I've heard it from really real people. I haven't it's not like stuff off the internet, but I have been so fascinated with Michelle Obama's podcast because she is always emasculating her husband. She's always like, he's the worst. He doesn't like put his laundry in the laundry basket. Like, he cried like a coward when we dropped our daughter at college. And I'm like, they never say nice things about each other. And that, you don't have to comment if it makes you uncomfortable, but have you been paying any attention to that?
Yes, I love Megyn Kelly's commentary on Michelle
Yes,
Obama,
yes,
especially
yes.
the one where she actually like acted like Michelle Obama. What she did like a whole
Yes, that was
play.
really
It was
funny. Yes.
so funny. But the worst one was when she said she was glad she didn't have boys because they would be little
Yes.
Obamas. And the reason why that hit me so hard is because I always tell people are like, "Oh, didn't you want a girl? You know, I have 3 boys." And I always say, God gave me 3 boys because he wanted 3 more Byron Donalds in the world. And I've been saying that
That's
for years and
beautiful.
years. And I really feel that way. Like, we're raising young men who are going to be leaders of the future, and they're going to do great things, and they're going to be men of God with wonderful families. That's what I pray for them. And I want them to be just like my husband. And so that really hit me hard for her to say that she didn't want more of her husband, who was president of the United States.
I know.
I mean, how heartbreaking is that? Marriage is hard.
Imagine
Being married over
hearing
20
that.
years,
Oh my
you have your ups and downs. I mean, there's no doubt. I'm sure there's times in our marriage that people could have looked at us and been like, "Whoa, what's going on there?" But you know,
It's everyone. Yeah.
it's everyone. You push through. We love each other very much, and the biggest thing as a wife is you're really not supposed to do that, you know, to other people, even to friends. You know, you tell God about those things and no one else the things that you do
Yeah.
negatively
No,
about your husband.
I totally agree with you. And I actually, when she said those comments about not having boys, I'm pregnant right now, which is why I'm wearing this sweater because I'm just like so fat and crazy right now. I'm like super pregnant. And I'm having a boy and I have 2 girls. And I always ask, I would love to ask you, like, do you have any advice from switching to being a boy mom? I'm not like upset about it. I was excited to obviously even be able to be pregnant because I'm 40, but I'm even like I've been buying like boy clothes, like boy onesies and stuff into like blue and like green and camo and whatever. And like if you have any advice on being a boy mom, I would love to hear it because I do think society is so negative towards men, so negative towards boys. And, you know, like there's a lot of fear mongering about raising boys, which is really horrible.
It is, but being a boy mom is such a blessing, and we have to allow boys to be boys and be masculine, be adventurers. Don't treat them like defective girls. And if the school that you choose for your child or your son treats them like a defective girl, which many schools do in our culture, unfortunately, you've got to get them somewhere that appreciates the differences between boys and girls and allows them to be masculine. You know, we had a great relationship with Charlie Kirk, and I always wanted my boys to look up to him. To me, every time we went to something with him, I wanted to bring the boys with me and say, look at him, this young man who is such a great role model for the men of tomorrow, because he did value being a husband, providing for his family, protecting women, speaking out in a respectful way. And so I think we have made a turn. You've seen it in the data of young men really embracing their masculinity. And I think that's a great environment for your boy, and congratulations to grow up in. But yes, you're going to be a great boy mom.
Thank you. And I agree with you that I feel a little less stressed because with like Charlie Kirk and like just so much of the culture shifting again, it makes me feel a little better, because you're right. There's just so many schools and places where it's like just being a boy is automatically a negative. But I do think the culture is shifting. And obviously you guys have done a great job. And like, I look up to you, and you've got a good spread of ages there too. So I really appreciate that. You can always give me any boy mom advice. I always want to hear it, because it's going to be a whole new journey. I've had even like, not to give you too much information, our doctor was like, I've never even thought about circumcision and things like that. Like, of course, like there's so many things that did not happen with my girls that like I'm thinking about now. Found out what a peepee teepee is. Just
oh
for
my
anyone
God,
with,
yes, cover it fast. Cover it fast.
Yes,
My
you will
friend
be taking
gave
a lot of
me
showers.
Cover.
I know. I was like, thank you so much. Again, something I just like hadn't thought about before. Anyway, Erika, thank you so much. You're such a delight. Where can we find you on social media, and anything else you want to promote? Obviously, you're in the midst of a great campaign for your husband for governor. Anything you want to promote or plug before we say goodbye?
I'm at Erika Donald on all social media. Feel free to follow and reach out if there's anything that I can help you with, especially when it comes to education. I also run a foundation called the Education Freedom Foundation, and we help solve the supply side of school choice. If anyone's ever dreamed of starting a new school, it's youredfreedom.org.
School choice is so popular in Arizona, in my home state, and it's like one of the things that everyone is so proud of the huge success there. So, Erika, thank you so much. Come back anytime if you want to talk about anything, running for governor, being first lady, or if you want to talk crap about Kristen Bell, you're welcome to come back on. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Megan. Thanks
Erika. Thank you.
Bye, Erika. All right, last quick thing before we say goodbye.
Don't go anywhere. Anybody, stay here.
I know we're running on time, but we have promised this, and I've been really looking forward to it. So we have Annabelle update. Do we have Emily here?
Yes.
Emily.
Yes. Hello.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on. Emily,
you're welcome.
First
Anytime.
and foremost, Emily went and saw Annabelle in person. We want to show the photos. We have proof right here, Emily. There you are. This is way too close. You are crazy. This is crazy. Where did you go see Annabelle? You're way too close to her. I'm sorry, but like you're within a few feet of this demonic doll.
It's actually further than it looks.
There's another photo of it that you got. Emily, where did you go see her? Why did you go see her? And have you felt any energy of any kind?
Are there
since
vibes?
visiting her?
Yes. What are the vibes?
I saw her at Scarefest, which is a horror paranormal convention. It's one of the biggest ones in the country. It's every year in Lexington. This year was its 17th year. And I just had to go. Like, I learned about this story from you all. And I'm like, finally someone is covering something important that I care about.
You're
Possessed
welcome.
doll covers, that's why this is the best show, because you have like actual accomplished people, and then you let me come on and talk about the demon doll. So
I'm always interested.
We're well-rounded. Yes.
Yes. So I am like, okay, I have to go. And I just kind of like had this feeling that she would be at Scarefest. I'm like, she has to be there. And if she is, we're going. And I told my husband, like back in May is when it started and when you all first covered the story. And I told him, I'm like, I've been talking about this for 6 months. Like, we're going. And I'm like, when the Maverick's daughter, John McCain's daughter, tells you to go see the possessed doll and report back,
we told you not to go.
I feel like I said, I feel like I was worried
go.
about you, Emily.
But
when you had to show me the pictures, I was like, oh, Emily.
It was something like,
Thank you for selective listening.
Yeah, you said something like, I don't want you to go, but I do want you to go.
That sounds right.
Sorry, my computer's a little weird. I'm trying to find a good angle. Sorry.
You look beautiful. That's our code, though.
Thank you.
Don't go.
So you went to the fest. What was the line like, and what was it like physically in the room?
There was a ton of people there. So it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We went Friday because I knew that Saturday would be crazy. Last weekend in Lexington, we had like so many events. There were no hotel rooms in the city. So you had the University of Kentucky homecoming. You had Annabelle at Scarefest, which she definitely brought out the crowds. You had Keeneland horse racing happening. There was also a University of Kentucky basketball game. They do this, in which we'll get to that in a bit. It's called the blue and white game. If there's any college basketball fans in the chat, they'll probably know what I'm talking about. The team scrimmages each other. It's really stupid, but UK basketball fans are insane, craziest people on the planet. I don't know if you know any, no offense to any watching, but they're nuts. So it was wild. So we went Friday night and there were a ton of people. The line wasn't that long, but there were a lot of people there and they had it set up really well. Like they definitely were curating a vibe with Annabelle. Like it was like museum quality displays. There's some more pictures of some more things that I took out of. Yes. It wasn't just Annabelle, and I'm assuming there's just like a lot of haunted shit in the Warrens Museum, and there's no way they could bring all of it. So I think they just kind of had like the hits. But the best part was that Annabelle was like propped up like higher than everything else.
My gosh.
Okay, so she was like the focal.
Yeah, she was the star of the show. She is the showgirl. Yeah, and they had like lights on her, and they were playing like weird like chanting music. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they're cursing us or what, but they had her like roped off.
Like I can't get up to the glass to talk to her.
No, okay. You can't touch her. And I'm probably like 5-6 feet away from her. It just looks close because it's a selfie.
What does it feel like?
So when you get up to like look her in the eyes or whatever, did you feel anything? Did she look at you? Like it was literally just like looking at a wall.
It was kind of like looking at a wall. Like I wouldn't say it was underwhelming, but I think a lot of that is like the vibe of the room. Like I think if people are scared, that then you're gonna catch on to that, and other people are going to be scared as well. But no one was scared. Everyone wanted to see her. Like you came to see Annabelle. Like I didn't feel anything. I have had like paranormal experiences before. My husband has as well. He's actually had more than I have. He's more in tune to that than me, which infuriates me because I'm like, why don't the ghosts like me? It's so annoying. I'm like,
were you worried about any of her energy like coming back with you? Because her, as we know, her guide died.
Yeah,
tragically. No.
Okay. I'm like, bring it, bitch. Let's go. Like, spice up my life.
No scratches, no weird bruises. No.
Well, I did cut my finger the other day. Yesterday,
that's her.
I think. But that's just me. Like, I'm clumsy. Like, there's a difference in like me being dumb and the demonic doll. But it was more just like a museum, like a
was anyone scared? Exhibit. Like in line?
I didn't know. People were like interested, like they were like really quiet and just like hanging out and just looking at her.
Did they do any of the headphones and the people can listen to Annabelle try to talk to them? Did they do any of that extra stuff that they do sometimes?
No, I think because it was a bigger event than the other ones were. From what I gathered, her other stops were like she's the main,
more intimate.
Yes, this was just like a museum walkthrough in like a convention hall.
That's cool, kind of
did it look like the Annabelle doll next to Miranda?
Pretty much. She's bigger than I thought she'd be. Well, she's sitting in a chair, so you can't like see all of her, and I mean you can't like get up to her. My husband actually asked the guy. They have like a security guy. I guess he works with the Warrens. I don't know. I did overhear him saying the name Ed, so maybe he knew them. I don't know, but there were so many people there, and I couldn't really talk to the people working there. Mm-hmm. But he seemed to know his stuff, and my husband's like, can we get closer to the doll? And he's like, no sir, you cannot.
Did you see any
But
signs of like Ryan Buell or Matt Rife or
yes,
any of
they
them?
had some of not Ryan Buell, who was the one that passed away, Dan
Rivera.
Yeah.
Yes, they had his hat that he wore all the time on display as like a tribute to him.
Sad.
That's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not see Matt Rife. Who's the other? What's his name? Ryan
There's
Ryan
Buell.
Yeah.
I did not see. He probably was there because I put it on my Instagram story. I don't know if you saw it, Miranda. He posted a video of her coming into the
out,
arena.
and they were
when
with
they had her
guy who
covered
does
up
the
with the
blessings.
priest. Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
wonder if they're touching her when they move her to these places because
They have to
all
reposition her
around
the way they
the
carry her. She has to get like jostled
I wouldn't
around.
touch that doll if literally my life, like there's nothing that could get me to touch that doll.
Remember
just
how
so we're
Sarah
clear.
said that they replaced that Cartier diamond with a fake one because they
Yeah,
didn't
maybe
want-
it's a fake one. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
wondering
I
if
don't
it's a
know. I mean,
replica. Annabelle.
I don't know. It looked like based on what I have seen of Annabelle before, like it looked. I'm pretty sure it's legit.
It would probably be a
Like-
scandal too if they faked it. Like it would be like people
Yeah,
have to know
someone
that.
would definitely leak that
How would you
Yeah,
know?
for
though?
sure. Yeah, I mean they have to touch her, and like her case looked pretty sturdy. I mean, like it's
like
solid.
she's locked in.
Yeah. I mean, like what you
You're-
see is there.
You are braver than me, Emily, on so many different levels.
No nightmares, no
We
nothing.
are.
I would be so scared.
No,
I'm
no,
not doing
I
it.
did not. I mean, it wasn't scary. I think it was, I guess, just like a novelty. I guess like
Miranda, you're
I like
next.
that stuff.
And
Like
Ashley.
I'm kind of like hokey. Like
Ashley
I
had
love
her
like
chance.
something
She
hokey
should've
and
gone to
dumb.
Gettysburg.
We
Yeah, she
legitimately
did.
there. I told she was near us, and we considered
Mhm.
sending Ashley. And at the last minute, I was like, I cannot have this responsibility if something starts happening to you. I would feel horrible for the rest of my life. So we didn't. So we didn't
Yeah.
go.
So I said to my husband, I'm like, Annabelle looks happy here.
Because
you remember the
all of her
pictures?
adoring fans.
Exactly.
Everyone was there
She
and also
loving her.
Lexington is really haunted. So you
It's
know,
pretty
like a
haunted.
city.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah. I
I'm
mean, the
getting
whole
a-
state's haunted.
No one
I'm
was
getting
afraid.
a wrap
No one was
sign
messing with
from
her. Oh, we gotta
Ashley.
go. All
Really
right.
quick.
No
I'm
one
sorry, we're
was
way over.
afraid.
Okay.
Emily, would you come back anytime if you want to talk about? We're working on our Halloween episode, which is going to be next
Yes.
Wednesday. Please
I
come
will
back
be here.
on. We got to figure out because again, we're like
Gotta
we're
wear
like
costumes.
aliens, ghosts. Like we will don't you
All
worry.
of
We
the
will have a
above.
Halloween.
Yes.
We're having a Halloween
Two-way-
episode.
Two-way
Yes.
is going to be boo way.
Oh, I love that.
Exactly. We should
Boo-way.
switch the caption with a
Boo
little
way.
boo
Boo
way.
way.
Are you
Yes,
listening,
that's
Sam?
really great, Emily.
Yeah, and I do
Uh,
have to say that Andy Bashir was not in the state last week when Annabelle was
Good.
here.
So he was
Makes me
safe.
feel better
I
for some
checked.
reason. Protect that
I
man.
checked.
Fine.
I double checked. Yes, I have kind
Smart.
of become the unofficial Annabelle and Andy Bashir two-way correspondent.
You are 100%.
Yes,
You can have that
I've
title.
talked to
We
Mark
will put
before
that on your
too.
Chiron next.
Yes, do it.
Annabelle, Andy Bashir correspondent.
I
Emily.
love
Yes.
that.
Well, Emily, thank you so much. Is there anything you would like to plug? Do you want anyone to follow you on social media or anything before we say goodbye?
You can follow me on social media. My username on Instagram is MEBWes, EMIBWES. My husband's also a children's book author. I think Miranda has some
Oh,
of his books.
I have the books. They are adorable. They are really
Yes,
I
pretty.
need the
you
books.
look.
They're children's books.
Yes,
They're really
yes. We will send you some. Yeah, Blue and Rue are his
Aw.
characters' names. You can follow them. BLOOANDROO. Blue was
They're on Amazon.
our dog. Yes, they are. Sadly, Blue passed away last November. But
Right.
Rue is still with us, and he was on two-way a few weeks ago.
Wonderful.
With
Well,
Mark.
Emily, thank you so much. And we'll get those
You're
books
welcome.
and come back anytime. Andy Bashir or Annabelle, you
Oh,
are my
yes.
girl to go to.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I am on that beat.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. It's been a great packed show today. We will hope you have a
Very.
wonderful weekend. And we have Brett Baer on Monday, a Fox News host. He has a new book out. And we are going to ask him about the viral pictures that went viral of him getting pulled
Getting
over
a ticket.
in a white G-Wagon with rims in the
With
most
the-
baller
The
car I've
National
ever seen
Guard
any-
keeping DC safe and
Yes.
giving Brett Bear a ticket.
Yes, a threat to society, Brett Baer. Thank you guys
Menace.
so
He's a
much.
menace.
Have a wonderful weekend. Miranda, you have a wonderful weekend
You.
and enjoy this fall weather. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you.